Ukrainian conflict Americans don't understand. I was born in Russia and now I live in the US, and I grew up at the border between Russia and Ukraine. I have a lot of friends in Ukraine, and a lot of them ran in 2014 when the military conflict started. In 2014. That's the first thing Americans don't understand. Armed military conflict started years before. Just the news didn't show it. By the way, I'm not driving. Number 2, Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine of right now, was elected basically as a joke. There was a series filmed by Ukraine and Russia together. And the main character of the series is Zelensky, who is playing president there. So they implanted this idea into Ukrainian people's brains long time ago. And Zelensky lived and worked in Moscow as an actor. And he started his acting career as a comedian. And everybody, I don't understand Ukrainians, we all grew up watching him dancing on the stage, being a comedian, filming in some small movies. And also the main line of his entire career as a comedian, most of these guys who were fighting in this contest, comedian contest, it's called KVN. The guys that were there, they always dreamed to be in a high-end society. That was the only way to get to the big stage. It's like America's Got Talents, but for comedians. So from very early stages of his career, Zelensky showed very clearly that he will do anything for money. He was dancing on a pole dance shoes, going on the stage half naked, participating in parties, anywhere he could potentially be noted. So him becoming a president in the first place, it is a marketing campaign. And the situation between Ukraine and Russia is a conflict supported so much by marketing, political marketing.
Завтра йдемо танцювати проти москалів. Затанцюємо, мова, сила у нас є. Ще не вмерла Україна, поки крепко є. Борщ, сало, цибуля, хрін, сивуха, брага. П'ю, їм, я п'ю, я п'ю, я п'ю, я п'ю.
Здрасте.
Василий Петрович Голобородько?
Да.
Доброе утро, господин президент.
Привет, как дела? Серьезный день, ребята. Как настроение? Класс? Це не фейк, і я дуже серйозно відношусь до нашої країни, до життя кожної людини.
И вот здесь, понимаешь, теперь, они заставляют детей в будки ваши, строить. Знаешь, почему у нас жизнь собачья? Да потому что мы свой выбор с тобой начинаем в будках. Понятно? А выбирать-то не из двух пи***расов выбираем меньше. И так 25 лет подряд. Ты знаешь, что это есть?
Да, при решении этого вопроса будет учитываться специфика. Уважаемые журналисты, я прошу прощения, я не готов к этой пресс-конференции. Как совместить физкультуру, спорт, если хотите, изучение украинского мовы. Ситуация очень простая. Первая причина, конечно же, они хотели бы видеть в президентах такого человека, как Василий Голобородько, с такими, самое главное, моральными ценностями. А второе, конечно же, это ответ всему политическому истеблишменту. Люди хотят что-то новое.
А я тут ни при чем. Перестаньте. Мы же все понимаем, что это твой человек.
Нет, я был уверен, что Голобородько – это твой человек.
Ясно. Если не твой и не мой, значит, это человек Рустема Ашотовича.
Господа, клянусь, я не имею к Голобородько никакого...
Много всего нового научиться. Посмотреть, как дышит собака.
Я обіцяю вам піти в президенти України. І одразу виконую. Я іду в президенти України. Давайте зробимо це разом. З Новим роком.
Литовищ. щоб Україна була об'єднана, щоб Україна була захищена, щоб безпека України не ставилася під питання. Прийшли до висновку, що цілісність України и едность.
Я никакая не игрушка в руках Коломойской. Не был бы игрушкой, честно говоря, в руках ни одного из этих людей.
If you're a man of principles,
Yes.
why are you working for a man who the anti-corruption authorities say has stolen all this money from the people of this country?
Все каналы у нас принадлежат олигархам. Все крупные предприятия принадлежат этим группам. Получается, что мы все люди в Украине, 40 миллионов людей без принципов, мы все работаем на этих предприятиях. Или теперь весь юмор будет про меня? Да?
Про вас.
Какие вы сволочи. Ладно, ребят.
Со мной вечно мело, чьи-то взгляды прячем свои лица.
Ты один аллиготер через свою большую ПОУ. Подними меня разок, не развяжется твой ПУПОК. Не ходи ты в избирком, там тебя посадят РАКом.
Here is something that the political establishment and propaganda media don't want you to know. Ukraine's President Zelensky has just banned yet another political opposition party, one that questioned his legitimacy as president, and used Ukraine's Department of Justice to mandate the seizure of this party's members' assets. Now, this is just the latest of Zelensky's actions to do this sort of thing. He began banning major political opposition parties in 2022, when he also started banning TV channels that were associated with his political opponents. And he took over total control of Ukraine's largest television networks, now controlled by their government. Now, Zelensky's presidential term ended on May 20th. He canceled elections in the name of martial law, suspending Ukraine's constitution so that he could stay in power. Now, defenders of Zelensky will say, hey, Ukraine is in the middle of a war. They can't have elections. Just stop for a moment and think, if we accept that excuse or criteria for suspending the Constitution and canceling elections, then we should presume that leaders in our own country and our own establishment media will also use this same excuse and rationale when they suspend our Constitution and our elections, since we too are at war with Russia and China. If you think this sounds crazy, look at what's already going on. They've already started conditioning us to accept a dictatorship by rationalizing their own use of our Department of Justice to target President Trump and other political enemies in their efforts to stay in power.
Seeing in Ukraine is we're seeing a country that is, and everybody knows this now, there's no more hiding this. You know, so why is Ukraine so important? Well, it's a hub for human trafficking. It's a hub for specifically for child trafficking. It's a hub for narcotics trafficking. It's a hub for weapons trafficking. We know about our biolabs because Victoria Nuland said we had them there. I mean, we've always known that, but you know, that's stated now publicly. And there's a lot of money just flowing into this this country. And you say to yourself, where is this money going? And is it money laundering? Is it money laundering? I mean, money laundering, you name it. You know, just this week, and it may not have come up on your screen, but I know you pay attention a lot. I mean, there's a couple of people. I think one of them is like somebody in the Ministry of Defense there, and it might be the Minister of Defense, or it may be somebody in his orbit. They're buying these gigantic homes for, you know, millions and millions of dollars, and you say to yourself, how is this the case?
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
You look good. How's it going?
Really?
Yes. Hang in there. Got a lot of friends here.
Thank you very much for this.
Pretty close.
How are you?
Pretty shut.
He's all dressed up today.
President Trump, what's your message to Vladimir Putin, sir? President Trump, President Trump,
Thank you very much.
Stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country? President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems.
Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
Influence.
You're right now not in a very good position.
Of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
No, in this entire meeting that you said thank you, you went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
I'm going to wrap up this White House meeting in a nutshell and keep up, okay? Because I'm going to go kind of fast. Well, what happened? Zelensky decided he wanted to invite the media in, and Donald J. Trump and Vance was like, that's fine. We ain't got nothing to hide. We don't know why you want the media in here in our meeting, but okay, that's fine. We don't care. So the media was there, so we saw the whole thing unfold. What really happens behind closed doors when you see them presidents and leaders really negotiating and going back and forth, that's really what be happening behind closed doors. It's not nice. It's not pretty. Okay, I digress. So everyone was there, so they got to witness it. And they were basically saying, Trump said, look, we want a ceasefire. We want peace talks, all of that. But what's going to happen, you're going to give us a stake in your minerals. Because we've sent you a lot of money. We sent you troops to a war that you knew you weren't going to win. So in order to kind of even the field, kind of get that back, how about you just give us a stake in your minerals? Well, Zelensky started kind of talking with a little air in his chest. I think he had a lot of pride. I think that's what it was. And Vance kind of shut that shit down. Vance started asking him questions like, come on, man, we done did all this for you. He said, you kind of arrogant. You got a lot of air in your chest and you ain't even said thank you. We basically done saved you, and you ain't even said thank you. You real arrogant around here. That's basically what Vance was saying. So Zelensky kind of decided he wanted to talk even more greasy, right? So he went to talking, and then at the end he said, and you gonna feel it too. That's when Trump stepped in and was like, ho, player, wait a minute. You ain't even in a position to tell us shit. You can't tell us what we gonna feel, because in the card game where we playing cards, you ain't even got no cards. If it weren't for us, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. And Trump said out his mouth, he said, that stupid ass president, he didn't say stupid ass, but he said stupid. He said that stupid president sent you all of that money and sent you them troops. They kept talking, and Trump was like, let's stop that right now. We just gonna stop with you telling us what we gonna feel, because you ain't in a position to tell us shit. All right, fast forward. They kept talking. They kept going back and forth. Trump said, look, you toying around with World War III here. We trying to give you some peace talks. We trying to get a ceasefire going on around here. And you walking up in here with the air in your chest. Like, what's going on, my guy? He kept talking greasy, and Trump said, look, if it weren't for what we sent you, you wouldn't have lasted 2 weeks against Putin. He said, I done talked to Putin. Putin ready for a ceasefire. What's your problem? When he said, you wouldn't last 2 weeks against Putin, he gonna double down. Zelensky gonna double down and say, Putin said we wouldn't last 3 days. Donald Trump shot back and said, you wouldn't even lasted that long. At the end of it all, because he had so much air in his chest and so arrogant,
Donald Trump said, all right, you can leave, player, but don't call us back until you're ready for a ceasefire or talk some peace or do some negotiating, because this what you doing. He said you're not going to last, and you're probably going to start World War III. So get your head right, player, and come back and holler at us.
You see, I love me a man. Now, Trump is a man's man. Whether you blue collar or you in the White House, it ain't nothing like a strong man to stand up to another man and protect his family and protect this house. And that's exactly what he did with Zelensky today. You don't come in our house. You don't come to my family's country and disrespect me or disrespect us. And let's not talk about J.D. Vance. They was standing on business. You don't come to a made man like Donald Trump in the dream team and talk to them like they minions. See, you got away with that with Biden. There's a lot of men of America, and men are coming back because that last administration, they wanted men to act like girls. Us real women, especially us MAGA women, we love a man's man. Where the real men at? The man is back, baby. America is back. And Trump just told him like a man tell another man to his face, don't you come up in my house and disrespect me. As a matter of fact, go home. Go home and come back when you ready to talk peace. He little boyed him as he should. And that's what a commander in chief looks like.